All right, we've got a new fight announcement. He's stepping back in the ring, not too far away, too. An announcement and then a fight only just around the corner. Let's bring him in. Nikita Tszyu, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling with a new date?
I'm excited because I have something to work for. Without fights in your schedule, then you kind of feel lost as a fighter. You don't know really what to do. And staying active is one of the things that's important to have some sort of structure in your life.
Well, we say this, but yet to have an opponent. Now, we don't know, unnamed. Do you?
There are a couple names coming around. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell anyone, so I'll just keep my mouth shut.
I'm going to say you are, and then you can get in trouble for it later. Australian or international?
Australian, yeah.
Okay, good.
Australian. I'll give you a little tease.
Okay,
that's as much as I'll give.
Okay, good stuff. Well, yeah, look, there's obviously some good names floating around there, and some that did pop up on my radar that I was looking at. Obviously, you've got Ben Marnie, you've got Kalmazudier, there's a few others floating around as well. And obviously there are, like we did say, there are a few international options for you. You did mention that there's an Aussie on the cards, but even those international fights would be starting to be coming on your radar as well soon, would you say?
I wouldn't say at the moment, maybe in a year or two, because we're still baby steps. In order to go towards the international opponents, I have to really clean out the Australian kind of all the Australian prospects, and I haven't done that yet. I've only had 6 fights at the moment, so I think by the time we hit like maybe 15 fights, that's when we'll start looking for international opponents.
Are you looking to try and get some of those Aussie belts like Dylan Biggs just won over on the weekend as well? Is something like getting those straps something that you want to do?
Look, I honestly don't care much about the belts. It's more just they bring a kind of ranking system, and it's kind of like it's a monumental thing to kind of get these belts out of the way. And in order to progress, you have to be able to win these kind of belts. But yeah, they're in the near future. Yeah, we got our eyes on that kind of stuff.
Yeah, good stuff. I can see. Is that a big old gym set up behind you? You're just never too far away from training, are you?
No, this is my barbecue actually.
Oh, the wheel.
Yeah.
It looked like it was your bench press.
Yeah, I got my gym in my garage.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, obviously looking at your past 3 opponents, Dark and Dryden, Bo Belbin, the Bomber, obviously. You've made light work of the last one in particular, who there was some great back and forths around that whole 8 rounds, and it ended only going a short amount of time. Do you think with this opponent that you may have that you can reveal at the end, we'll hold everyone over, is it potential to go that long?
I'd like to go the full 8 rounds. I want to get that experience and the kind of the miles in the tank, because as I said in the Fox Sports interviews, a 1-round fight, it's great and all, but you don't learn much from it. And I'm at a point in my career where I'm trying to learn as much from it. If it's later in my career when I'm already established, already got a whole bunch of skills to me, then a 1-round fight is kind of happy, because you got the job done, in and out, let's go. Just like my brother had. I wrote 1-round fight with him. It's kind of perfect. Yeah. And got straight going fishing. but for me, I'm still learning. I'm still in the elementary days of my career. So at this point, I'm just trying to just gain all the skills that I possibly can.
Well, from where we see right now, you've got a whole bag of those. How does it go though? I heard you say that about you want longer fights and stuff like that, but let's say, because let's be honest, with the last one with Bomber, you saw blood and just went savage mode. So wasn't going to go any longer than you needed it to. But what about your team? Let's say Igor or whoever else.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't take an opportunity to knock someone out when it's there and finish a fight, is that good or bad? Or do they go, well, you had your opportunity to take it?
You always need to take the opportunity. You never give your opponent the ability to have like their little scapegoat, their little escape. So if the opportunity was there, I was bound to take it. But it's just, yeah, we're not looking for those opportunities to come very often, and kind of still try and grind out a little bit.
What I loved about your last fight, it was pretty awesome to watch. I don't know, obviously we're 6 fights in now for you, all victories for those playing at home. And but it seemed like a different version of you. Obviously, lots of fun and games, lots of smiling, lots of laughing. We'll get to your ring walk in just a sec. But like, what's sort of, I guess, is the dust settling on being a pro boxer?
Yeah, I'm adjusting to the scene. I'm adjusting to the kind of the media, the occasion of the night, and getting myself more and more comfortable with just everything to do with the sport. And you could see that in the last fights. You could see, if there was any kind of footage of me in the locker rooms, you'd see how chilled out I am.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of goofing around, and I'm just letting my real personality just flow. And that's when I'm the most dangerous, because I'm in a happy stage.
You were all happy until that bell rang, and then or even so after maybe the first 60 seconds, and then once there was a
Yeah.
little wobble in Bomber's knee, it was not happy Nikita. It was business
Yeah.
Nikita.
Yeah, you gotta have that little switch in your head. You gotta be able to put all that stuff aside, all the happiness aside, and go get into business.
Is it, well, obviously not, because we saw a record knockout for you, but like, yeah, we did ring walk to YMCA.
Hmm.
Your other fights were hard trance, and your other one was the
Yeah,
Undertaker. So, so
I got a nice variety.
I mean, you're not pigeonholing yourself at all. Where do you is it a headspace to fight when you're coming out to the village people?
It brought, like, recently, ever since the movie Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out, I became obsessed with like all the old tracks and all the like the groovy music, listening to the soundtracks of the movies. So I was really into all the kind of old school kind of pop stuff. And my manager Glenn gave me the idea of going out to a different song, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he suggested the YMCA, and it was history comes from there.
Because was it on the Harris undercard when you fought before Tim's fight there?
Mhm.
They stuffed up your song or something, wasn't it? It was a wrong
Yeah, they stuff.
one.
Yeah, so my friend, he used to be a DJ, and he studied DJ, and he did like a little edit for me to kind of get rid of the first intro, and I sent them the track, the edited one, and they played the full version. And in my head, if I come out to the very intro, I'd kind of mess up the whole timing with the ring walk. So I was just standing there like, looks like we're gonna wait for a little bit. I
Oh, so,
was cringing. I was cringing at myself. I hate it when people take too long to do ring walks. And look, yeah, I hated it, but it happened.
that's good. You're a zoo. You can take as long as you want, mate. It just builds that arena. Then you come out and did what you did. So it's
Yeah.
completely fine. Yeah, because I saw that there was that UFC fighter recently who tried to come out to the Halo, like the gaming theme, or the or Halo, and came out
Mhm.
to Beyonce's Halo. And so the DJ had played Beyonce instead of obviously his Halo gaming theme. So
Yeah. I saw that.
I see
Yeah.
you as the person that would probably love that accident, and you'd just be like, "I'll bring it."
Yeah. Look, that would be a happy accident, but the messing up the wrong songs is just like simple, stupid errors. Like, come on, guys. I
Yeah,
gave you I gave you one song to play,
I'm here
and
to.
you had to go find your own song. But
Good
whatever.
stuff. Does what do we got on the horizon for the next one then? Do you like, because right now we don't know where you're going to go musically in your boxing career?
I'm still gonna stick to the same themes, the '80s kind of disco music. It's something that, like, I'm just really grooving to. It's the only kind of music that I'm really training to. So we're gonna stick with it
The vibe
until
of,
I find some. Yeah, definitely no more Undertaker. The Undertaker was fun while it lasted, but I kind of got over it for a bit.
it sort of aligned that music too with that theme, that feeling, your attack too. That's how, I guess, as much as you fight it, that's how the Butcher was born, wasn't it? When it sort of
Yeah,
came
yeah.
theme, would you
It
say?
was, it was kind of like the blossoming of my career, and then you got to see another side with the hard trance, hard style music, and then you're really seeing deeper into my personality, the little bubbly side.
Well, obviously, as we said, you said you're now obviously blossoming there. You've in full bloom right about now. I saw
Mhm.
up on the Gold Coast for, say, Carlos Ocampo and Tim's fight recently. Even after it, you were just getting mobbed by people. I saw you stood just near that door to
Mm.
come back in, and maybe I reckon 600 people took a photo with you.
Yeah,
You-
it's a very weird thing to adjust to. Like I'm still definitely not used to it. Whenever even just like people come up to me in public randomly, just out of the blue, I kind of act all awkward. I don't know how to react. Like they know me. I'm just like, hello, hello. But it's very it's a wholesome thing. When people genuinely interested in your career and they're really supporting you. It's nice to be able to communicate with those people that are there supporting you.
I found that you took a bit of a different approach to that fight. I saw you pop into the venue and just sort of go and sit down and keep completely away from, I
Mhm.
guess, Tim on that night as well. Was that something that you'd thought about prior? You just had your camera and you're just cruising around by yourself.
No, I was in the dressing room afterwards. I had to go in by myself because I had to do some panel on the yeah,
Okay.
like some sort of panel there, and I came in a little bit early, and I had some kind of some little media obligations, and then as soon as all that was over, I was took off my button up. I'm like, screw this. I want to get comfortable. Got my t-shirt out and just chilling there, recording Tim in the background.
Yeah. Well, not much to record in that one either. The zoos don't muck around, do they?
Yeah, I was trying to make like a little documentary, and he took all the content away.
I noticed you've popped up a little YouTube channel that's been looks like it's been in the background for a little bit. But is that you are like obviously being an architect and someone that builds the chairs barehanded with one chisel? You are, I guess, that type. Are you doing some stuff with video on that too now?
It's something that I find interesting. I like distracting myself away from boxing,
Mm.
and I like taking up hobbies that can kind of take my mind away from the sport that I'm in, and kind of it's like a little release for me. And cameras was something that I was always very interested in during high school, but I could never really understand. So when it came to the I had like a little realization that in order for me to market myself, I have to have some good quality content coming out, and I had to really dive into it. So started doing some research into filmmaking, and look, I'm definitely a complete amateur. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I just watch a couple YouTube videos here and there just to get myself accustomed to it, and yeah, I just make stuff.
Yeah, I saw a little video and then I saw Nick Zoo or something like that in your channel, and I'm like, oh, hang on, Nikita's launched a bloody YouTube channel, guys.
Yeah, I don't market it at all. I kind of just like keep it low under the radar, and I want to try and see if the platform can kind of grow just by the videos themselves, just through the YouTube algorithms, rather than me trying to share it through my Instagram all the time.
Well, it's been on the Punch
Yeah.
podcast, mate. It's bloody viral.
Hopefully,
Hey,
won't complain.
yeah, I'm hearing you're about to fly out to Thailand. Tim's over there doing some conditioning now. Yourself and Uncle slash trainer Igor about to jump on a flight and take on Thailand. How's that looking?
I'm so ready for it. It's just like a change of pace, change of scenery. I've been kind of just been training in Sydney for last 2 years, and it's a chance to kind of just see a new place, and just when you go on like a little training camp, it's very motivating because you're there for one reason, and that's to train. Like whenever I was going to fights in a different city, you kind of there's something that switches on in your brain that yeah, we're in fight mode because I'm away from home, I'm away from my dogs, I'm not in my comfort zone anymore. And this little trip is going to be like getting out of your comfort zone and really tuning into this fight, tuning into this preparation.
You're not going to try and smuggle Carlos, or you're good?
Oh, I don't know. I don't
Take.
know. He'll probably shit everywhere.
Have you done
he,
Thailand before?
no, he hasn't. But he's a little fart box, so I don't know if I'd want to bring him.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you done Thailand though?
Oh, Thailand. instead of going to schoolies, I went with my friend to Thailand to Phuket,
Yeah.
and that wasn't nothing to do with training. That was me basically blind drunk for 2 weeks straight.
Any
So it's gonna
tattoos
be
you know about?
I'm gonna see a different side of Thailand.
Yeah, you'll be on the other side. I saw some of Tim's photos from there. What does conditioning actually do for you? Like, explain it to those that don't know what conditioning camp is.
It's more just getting your fitness up and getting your body prepared. Rather, there's different aspects to the sport where you're focusing on the skillful side. There's parts of just like tactics, but a big fundamental thing to have is a good set of conditioning and a good engine. And Thailand's a place that a lot of MMA fighters go to, a lot of boxers go to because it's got high humidity. It's just if it would feel like a very healthy place. There's two different sides of it. There's obviously the alcoholics all around, the people drinking, the probably the new potheads walking around everywhere with the
Yeah.
legalization of marijuana. But there's also the Muay Thai fighters, the hardworking grinders that are there that simply live and breathe fighting. And being amongst people like that, it kind of brings you up. It makes you more motivated. It makes you kind of yeah, just brings a good energy,
Yeah, that'd be
and
good.
it's perfect for conditioning.
Yeah, and then you'll come back and start to land the plane for the fight when it
Yeah,
comes.
then there'll be 2 weeks left until the fight, and that's around the fine tuning part. That's where all the hard work has already been paid off, and we're just trying to um make your body feel good.
Do you have to do much of a weight cut, or do you find that pretty easy?
I drop anywhere from like 10 to 8 kilos
Okay.
for a fight, but the weight kind of flushes off with me pretty easily. I don't struggle with the weight cuts. I I gain a fair bit of weight after the fight because I love to pig out. And after the weigh-in, I think like 6 hours after the weigh-in, I've already put on like 8 kilograms, and I'm just always inflating afterwards.
Yeah.
And then after the fights, I continue to eat and continue to stuff my body with poor poor nutrients and poor fats.
You get being from a fighting family, you come home with a kebab and they're like, Nikita, whack out of your hand or something like that. This.
Nah, not at all. Honestly, we because of the fighting family, we understand the kind of the commitment it takes for with all the dieting.
Mm.
Like there's never you, it's not good to be kind of in just like this healthy mode all times. There's always these little variations where you're healthy at one bit, but then you can pig out for another bit.
Yeah.
But then once the time comes to be healthy, you gotta put all the junk food in the burgers aside and and torture yourself again.
Well, that's you're the guy to do it. Now, obviously, you're going to touch down in Thailand, as we mentioned, and you obviously are going to line up with your brother. How's he doing? Obviously, some pretty hard news to cop recently, and not just for him, I'm sure for your whole team, for your family, for everybody else. How did you hear about Tim and Charlo kaput?
I saw it. I heard about it on the Saturday morning. I just went. I had a strength conditioning session, and straight afterwards, I went on my phone in the car, and I saw this post by Canelo saying he's versing Charlo, and I was like, "Wait, why does it say undisputed versus undisputed? That's the wrong Charlo." I was very confused. Like, what's going on? I started going through all the. Then I see PBC posted and Showtime posted. I was like, "What the hell?" So it was. I found the information probably before Tim. I got it pretty early, 8 o'clock in the morning. But I didn't want to like talk to him about it initially because I knew that he's going to be bombarded with this kind of talks from everyone. Everyone's going to be messaging him. So just from like understanding what it's like to be like in the sports, if he wanted to talk to me about it, he would talk to me about it. But I didn't try and smother him with any kind of what's happening, what's the plans, what's going on. But yeah,
What do you think he
it's
does?
horrifying. What do I think Tim does?
Yeah.
Honestly, I have zero idea. No one tells me a thing. I don't ask many questions, and
You get on podcasts and release all the information. If we tell Nikita, he'll tell everyone.
I'm the worst person to try and find information from because
Yeah.
I don't ask any questions.
What do you think we should do? Because like seriously, like, well, I guess we'll find out what they do with the belts first, huh?
Mm-hmm. I think that the cutoff date for the mandatory WBO thing was the 30th of September, and that's the date of the fight. So I think it was, I don't know. It's just it's a weird little thing. A lot of conspiracies going on. Got the tinfoil hat on. Kind of when I'm looking through the videos, what's going on here?
Well, maybe you can go chase maybe Jamal and then take one for the zoo Charlo camp, take him down, and then head back and punch Zarafa and clean that one out for him. Would you do actually on that? Would you fight Michael Zarafa?
Yeah, eventually I would. Eventually, but he's a little annoying. He's a bit of a drama queen. Always feels he needs to. Always feels that he needs to be in the spotlight. I feel honestly, I feel sorry for him sometimes. I feel like he's got a lot of self-conscious issues, and he's just lacks a lot of confidence in himself. But who knows? That's just my opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean it's just an observation.
Is it hard when he is doing things and saying what he says and it's a family member? Like air boxing aside, it's your brother that he's saying it about.
I don't find it offensive at all. I find it amusing. I
Yeah.
find it amusing that he always feels the need to try and get back in the spotlight, try and get like have a voice again. It's it's just amusing to me. I don't really like pay attention to any of the words that he says. It's just I don't know. I honestly don't even don't know what to make of it.
Yeah. Well, I know what you're going to make of your opponent coming up in, what do we got? August 23, the Sydney's Horden Pavilion. It's like you're now starting to get a couple. I think the last time I spoke to you was before the last Horden fight. So look, a few more of those would be nice. And that's going to be good.
Yeah,
You packed it out.
I love fighting in Sydney. Sydney's the place to be because it's where my home is. I get to just chill out in my bed before the fight. I don't have to sit in any uncomfortable hotel rooms. I can't stand the hotel beds. So fighting in Sydney, yippee.
Is it weird? And I do want to sort of run this through a few fighters as well and see what they say, because you kept away from the madness inside an arena, right? And then all of a sudden you're in the room, still quiet, everything's quiet, ring walk, somewhat quiet, and then boom, there's flames, loud fighting. Is it a bit? And then you go back home, you leave, then you're home, silent in your room, no one's around. Do you know what I mean? It's like that half an hour of just chaos on that day.
So this is something that I noticed in the first few fights, and that's what I really wanted to capture with my videos. You see the kind of the silence, the calm before the storm, and then just an eruption of chaos, just an eruption of like adrenaline, and it goes back to the silence. But it's a thing to adjust to. It's the adrenaline that you feel in a fight. It's it's a feeling that I can't describe. I can't describe anything close to it because the rush that you get just it takes over your body, takes over your mind. It's just crazy.
I saw Tim leave after the Gold Coast fight in a convertible. I don't know if you saw the car he left in, but he left in one of those convertibles, and then he got caught at the traffic lights with an open roof car for maybe 8 minutes. Everyone leaving, just trying to hang in. Timmy, traffic light, just nowhere to go, and just copped it for so long. I was like, oh, the guy's just getting pumped right now. But he loved it. Obviously, I'm sure that adrenaline's still thick in the veins after doing something like that, right? So
after a fight, the adrenaline stays in for until the next day. Like I can never sleep properly after a fight. I'm always just even after when I'm sitting in bed, I'm just on my computer, just watching YouTube videos or something. I just can't get to sleep. The adrenaline, just like my hands are still kind of like shaking through the moment.
especially when you go, obviously you just, especially when they're big fights, big wins, big arenas. Like, yeah, I couldn't imagine what that would feel like. So I chat to you people about it because I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I
You
can
have a
see
little,
it back in your
trying
face.
to find a little taste to it. Yeah.
Well, Nikita
I don't
Tszyu,
know, maybe skydiving could be similar. I don't know. Who knows?
I'll give it a go. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Nikita Tszyu, thanks for stopping by the Punch podcast again. Always awesome to chat to you ahead of fights and always great to see you in these. I guess second last fight for the year, I'm going to say. I reckon you can squeeze one more in.
Yeah. There's definitely plans. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but I'll say because you're a nice guy.
Thank
For
you.
December.
Okay. Little
For
Christmas
December.
party present, huh?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
I appreciate this chat. It was nice to have like a proper nice conversation. It felt like we're face to face, and yeah, very enjoyable.
awesome, man. Well, like, yeah, right back at you. And I look forward to bumping into you at the back of the Horden there and, yeah, get it happening.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Good on you, man.